Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blaise XPerience once again. You are joining us for episode 101 today, and I'm your host Derek as always. I hope you did enjoy episode 100. I think that turned out really well. The edit was definitely tough for me to get done, but we got through it. About 8 to 10 hours later, I finally got through that edit, so we did get it done eventually, and I'm glad you're all enjoying that now. And, hopefully you guys liked our panel for that and how we ranked everything. But if you, have some different rankings for some of the games that we had on there, then let me know. Just hop on Discord, shoot me a message. Always feel free to send me an email, something like that. But today, as we teased during the episode, I did say that the next episode we're going to do is probably going to be having Zombie come back for a Borderlands 3 spoiler cast. And that is what we're doing today. So, before we get into that, though, I will say at the top of the show here, our next episode, I think what I'm going to try and do for our next episode is return to DVD, possibly. Don't quote me on that yet. I think I'm going to try and have ACC back on and talk some more DVD. It's been a little while since we talked DVD. I think it's been about 4 to 6 weeks since we talked some of that. So that's what I'm thinking about the moment. I do have some backup options if that's not the case, but we do try to bring that back every, 4 to 6 weeks for one episode. And there is a DVD event coming up, so we'll probably talk about that in the podcast. Maybe we'll have Zombie on there too, because we're going to try to do some ranking stuff for a specific thing. But speaking of DVD, that's basically what I'm streaming all next week. So next week is DVD week on the stream. So we're going to do some Dead by Daylight all week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, from 12 to 4 Eastern. That will be all DVD. So 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then on, I believe Thursday is the 25th officially. Let's see. No, the 25th is Friday. So on Friday the 25th, the winner of our vote was State of Decay 2. So we will have State of Decay 2 coming back on Friday. And it seems like it's kind of becoming a somewhat regular thing because this Friday we did some State of Decay 2 and everyone voted. Next Friday, State of Decay 2 as well. I did have Outer Worlds as an option on there, but that did not win the vote. It was 2 votes short of winning, so State of Decay 2 will be back that day. And the last week of the month will be a State of Decay 2 week, so we're going to lead into that with some State of Decay and finish up the month with some more State of Decay for the rest of the month. So that's what we had to look forward to. But without further ado, let's introduce our guest back on the show here. Please welcome back, fresh off episode 100, Zombie Killer Bot. How are you, Zombie?
Good.
Nice to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And I would have tried to have Monty back here too, but unfortunately he hasn't played all of Borderlands 3 yet, so he can't be a part of the Spoilercast.
Yeah.
So we're going to spoil all of Borderlands 3 here, and we're going to talk about my thoughts and Zombie's thoughts on it, which we have very different thoughts on it. So
for the first ever time.
Well, I think we've had different thoughts before, but probably not this very.
Yeah.
There's basically some beats of this story that I really, really don't like. And Zombie doesn't mind, I don't think. So.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. But, debate. Gotta love that.
I mean, I won't say the Borderlands 3 story is trash. Like, I wouldn't go that far, but I really, really dislike some of the choices they made in the story, basically. And like I said in the episode 100, I think the Borderlands 2 story is a much stronger story overall. Would you agree with that, or you think 3 is stronger?
God, I can't make a decision on that yet. I think the reason I'd only be able to make an actual opinion on that once the DLCs have come out for 3.
But that's not officially part of the story, though. I'm talking about the main story.
Yeah, I know that, but that's how I like to judge the games together. So who had an overall better thing in general. But with 2, I think the only reason it was stronger, in my opinion, it was stronger than Borderlands 3 story was because they spent a lot of the time, obviously they spent a lot of time building up the villain, and he even had a prequel which really should have been a DLC, as we talked about in episode 100. But yeah, if it was a DLC, it would have been better. But fair enough, they had a DLC dedicated to making a backstory. They had everything dedicated to obviously the villain of Borderlands 2. which was good because it made you like hate them, but not like obviously love hate relationship with them. But with this one, it's just like, oh, it's a new set of villains, so I don't think everyone's grown as closely to them right off the bat. So I can see where the hate comes from, especially with some characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyrene especially could have been more of a fun villain if they fleshed her out a little more. Like, I don't think they used her as much in the story as they could have. And Troy, I mean, like, Troy was basically an afterthought. Pretty much, you don't really get much of Troy in the story until you face him in the game. And basically, it's like, oh, hey, Troy's a boss now. Okay, we killed Troy. All right, well, what's next?
Yeah,
That's kind of Troy's story.
Yeah, and even then, yeah, it doesn't even feel that big of a fight. It's just like, oh, it's just some annoying guy. Oh, he's dead. Oh, now let's get back onto the actual villain, Tyrene.
I will say though, which we'll obviously go into order of the story in a second, but I will say, part of the spoiler alert there is after you do defeat Troy, I was going to be pretty upset originally that it seemed like Tyrene was dead too for the moment. I'm like, oh no, that'd be such a horrible death if they kill her there, but luckily she wasn't dead there, so I was glad about that. That would have been a really, like, crappy death.
Oh man.
Well, don't you agree? I mean, that would have been a crappy way to end it.
Oh yeah, I know that, but I loved the segment he did immediately after that. I thought it was clever that. I thought it was dead clever, in my opinion. So,
but I guess we should go, in order of the story here. So we start off with our main story mission. There's 23 story missions here. We're going to try and talk about all of them as much as we can remember. Obviously, it might be a little bit hard to remember some of them, but the first mission is Children of the Vault. So, and then we'll kind of talk about them in threes, I guess, is the best way to do it. So we'll talk about three at once kind of thing. So we have Children of the Vault, From the Ground Up, and Cult Following. Those are the first three missions you take on, and basically these missions, they're kind of just your normal setup missions. They happen, on Pandora, I believe, right?
yeah.
And basically you are just figuring out what the Children of the Vault are. You're figuring out, who Troy and Tyrene are a little bit, and basically you're figuring out, oh, there's this cult that is formed around these two people, and basically that's going to be our villains of the game. And that's kind of what these first three missions are, pretty much, is just setting up, okay, these are the villains of the game, have fun.
Yeah, it pretty much is, yeah. It's just an intro.
So, did you like these first three missions? Did you like that kind of intro? Or I think it was a pretty good intro. I think it was a better intro than the pre-sequel did, and probably better intro than Borderlands 1 did.
Mm-hmm. I just like how you immediately throw straight into the fight.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun with Claptrap at the beginning, too, with him sneaking around. I'm like, alright, I'm going to sneak around with you, Claptrap. Let's do it.
Yeah. To be honest, in my opinion, it kind of beats Borderlands 2's intro as well. Like, they topped it.
That's fair.
They topped it. Because you're thrown right into a fight. It's just like, oh, you're assigned. Oh, you meet Claptrap, and then it's like straight into the fucking fight. You know what I mean? It's like, great. I want this. Like, I want to fight, so let's do it.
You want to fight, zombie? All right.
I still remember.
We'll go again. I will take out my Moes. I will drop my mech, and I will beat you again with those grenades.
And you know what we will do as well? We'll have it so the weapon glitches out, and you start with no weapon, so I have to give you mine, and then go in there and start hitting everyone with fists. But yet, you still die, and I don't. I wonder what happened there, Blaise.
Well, I have beaten you more times in our little matches. We have duels against each other, so.
Yeah, with OP grenades that are getting nerfed, it's been confirmed. Fun times.
What? They're nerfing my fire grenade?
They're nerfing everything, Blaise. How have you not gotten this by now?
That's my fire grenade!
First it was the loot, now it's the weapons.
Why? What's the point of that? How does that help anyone?
I don't know. Apparently the
fire grenade. Well, it makes fire. It makes things pretty.
Well, apparently the rumor is they're nerfing them, not like to the point where they're useless, but just a little bit.
But that's not fair. They're fire. Like, who doesn't like fire? It just lights up the sky. It's nice. It's beautiful.
Well, the Halloween event's coming out soon, so I'm guessing there'll be more OP grenades within that. So maybe raining skulls. Who knows?
I like my fire grenade.
Maybe raining fire skulls then. Would that help?
Hats off to Cable, by the way. I'll give him a shout out because he did give me that fire grenade. So thank you, Cable, for the fire grenade. You made my day once I saw that grenade, and that Lucian's Call. So you made my day with that too. That's a great gun for what my build is. I have this fire build that I love with Moes, and That gun causes a lot of fire too, so I like my fire.
Lucian's Call, yeah, it's so good.
Definitely like my fire damage, you know? What's probably, we never actually talked about it on the Borderlands podcast before, but out of all the podcasts we've done, we never really talked about, like, the types of, elemental damage. What's kind of your kind of favorite elemental damage, by the way?
That's a really hard one, actually.
I think they're all kind of fun, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think the classic fire is just, kind of fun for me. It's like, let's just burn some shit,
Yeah, I love using fire. Like it's different because it varies with every single obviously Vault Hunter, like what their strengths are. So if you're playing Flak, for example, you're going to be using more like cryo and explosive for his trees. Meanwhile, with the Siren, it's like it can be a mixture of all of them. So it can be corrosive. You can have incendiary in there, maybe some explosive damage. Corrosive for Flak as well, and
I will say too, the new radiation damage is really cool too.
Yeah, I like the radiation damage. Yeah,
the radiation's nice.
That replaces what's the name of I forgot what it's called.
Corrosive, right?
No slab.
Oh yes.
Forgot it's the iridium one. Yeah, slag. Yeah, slag. That's it.
Yeah, the radiation's fun though.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else to say about our first 3 missions? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's not, too much going on there.
No, there's not too much going on apart from that one side mission where you can find a bunch of head accessories for Claptrap. But apart from that,
yeah, I mean, we can mention some of the side missions that come out of these if you want, but I think let's only mention them if I guess they speak to us too much. But none of those really speak to me a whole lot.
That's fair.
But our next 3, missions 4, 5, and 6, we have Taking Flight, Sanctuary, and Hostile Takeover. So, what's some of your thoughts on these?
I love the build-up. Going into Sanctuary, I love that build-up. I love going on to Sanctuary itself. And Hostile Takeover, where do I start with that? Oh my god. I love it and all. But the amount of enemies they put in that mission kind of gets really annoying.
But it's a takeover, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it, and it's like fair enough, like, there's the enjoyment in it. But for me, I kind of got a bit frustrated when you're playing it and you clear out, like, 3 waves worth of enemies, and then more come anyway. It basically negates all the work you literally just did to clear out an area, because they all just come back. But overall, the mission is fun until the boss battle, where we both got frustrated.
Well, do you want to talk about who that boss was?
Kagura Ball, I think it is, isn't it? Kagura Ball, Hostile Takeover, Skywall, and all that.
Was that mission that he was in? Was it that early? I thought that was a little bit later in the game, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think it's early. Hostile Takeover.
I thought that was a little bit later, but
it might be. It might be a bit later. Actually, I might be confusing the missions. Hostile Takeover might be the other one where you find Zero, and then you help him take some things down, and then that's it.
Yeah, it does have to do with Zero, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, Zero's in that, yeah.
So basically, your objectives in this are talk to Ellie, use the drop pod, talk to Lorelei, contact Reese.
Oh yeah, it's your first introduction to Promethea, yeah. Never mind, I'm getting missions confused.
Oh yes, the boss for this one is Gigamind.
Oh yeah, Gigamind, I forgot about Gigamind. Yep. Gigamind's actually really fun, I like Gigamind. Never mind, I'm getting I'm getting confused. Anyway, so yeah, this is your introduction to Promethea, that Hostile Takeover mission, and I've got to say, Promethea in itself is a really fun place to be. I just love what they did with the whole map in general. I think it looks really cool.
Well, I mean, I think that Athena's is better. Nothing really happens on Athena's because they apparently hate Athena's. I don't know why.
But you go there, do a story mission, and then that's it for the rest of the game. You never go back there. Oh, I find that hilarious.
Yeah, Athena's is so freaking cool, and there's nothing going on there.
Yeah, I just remember you guys going, oh, so when's the next time we go back to Athena's, zombie? When's the next time we go back to Athena's? I'm like, you don't. You don't. You never go back there.
Well, I'm going to have to do all the Athena side missions because I love Athena. So every Athena side mission, I will do them.
Yep. And the hunt and oh yeah, we can do the private B one as well. Anyway,
but I will say with missions 4, 5, and 6, we do have to give a shout out to mission 5, Sanctuary. It's not really much of a mission. It's just kind of checking out the Sanctuary ship, but it is cool to when you first get on the ship to check it out. Pretty much that whole mission is basically just like, oh, go talk to Marcus, go talk to this person. Like, so it's not really much of a mission, but it's kind of cool to see the mission. Like, oh wow, this is where Marcus is at. Oh wow, this is where Ellie's at. This is kind of cool, and you actually get to see the ship for the first time. So it's really cool to see that home base.
Yeah, it is really cool to see that. But I like the feature they add to this, where if you speak to Marcus last, you get a free thing. You get obviously a free upgrade to your ammo and stuff off of him. But it's only if you speak to him last.
Yeah, you told me about that, yeah.
Yeah. I find that really cool. That's how much specific uniqueness it adds to that mission.
But other than that, I think Hostile Takeover is a fun mission. It's nice to see Reese again. I love Reese from Tales from the Borderlands, so it's great to reintroduce him.
Yeah.
I do love that mission for that.
I was so glad he got a main role in this. I thought when we came over to this game, all the people from Tales of the Borderlands would be minor characters. But I'm glad Reese got a major part to play in this story this time around. And I said that throughout every single stream that we did, but I was generally glad. Because I like Reese as a character, because I actually find him funny that he's the CEO, but he still freaks out about everything.
Well, that's how Reese is, though.
Yeah, and I find it hilarious. I just love it.
And I'm going to say, right here, I'm going to call out Gearbox. You guys have to get Sasha and Fiona into one of the DLCs. You got to do it. All right? So Gearbox, when you definitely listen to this podcast tomorrow, because I know you're obviously all going to listen to it tomorrow, for sure. So when you all listen to it tomorrow, definitely make sure you got Sasha and Fiona coming into one of the DLCs.
Right, Zombie?
I mean, come on. Who out there who doesn't want to see them again?
Yeah,
we definitely want to see them again.
Well, Sasha's already been mentioned within an Easter egg already within the game. So, there's hints in there.
Where's my Fiona? We need Fiona back, too.
Who knows?
Tales from the Borderlands was such a fun game that I'd like to see a lot of the people come back. And maybe there's some big twist where, some of the villains from Tales from the Borderlands come back. That'd be kind of cool, too. I'd love to see Vasquez again. That'd be kind of fun. Vasquez is just a villain that I really love to hate. I loved hating him. It was really fun.
Yeah. Vasquez is the one that gets his face mauled off, isn't it?
Yeah, and you have to use Vasquez's face to get it somewhere.
So how can he come back when he's literally had his own flesh ripped off his face?
Hey, if Anthem Jack can come back as an AI, then he can come back too as an AI.
Okay, yeah, explain to me how. At least with Jax, there's a reason why. It tells you the reason why. Because obviously it was implanted within
I don't care, Zombie. It's going to happen.
So
we're going to get Vasquez back, we're going to get Fiona back, we're going to get Sasha back. They're all going to be back in one of the DLCs because Gearbox is going to bring back a DLC all about Tales from the Borderlands.
Yep, and just for all of them to die and Blaise just go, that was fucking shit.
Yeah, you watch. They're all going to die, and the hero of that DLC is going to be Tannis.
Yeah, and then Blaise will just exit the game. He won't even say a word. He'll just exit, he'll shut down the stream, and he'll just leave. And we won't hear from him for a while, and then he'll pop up randomly in the next stream and go fuck that game. Fuck that game. And he'll just start swearing. Yes. He'll just start swearing for the rest of it. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Alright, let's get back on track here. So, our next missions are the Impending Storm, Space Laser Tag, and Atlas at Last. And the Impending Storm is the mission where we actually go to Athena's. So, I gotta give props to this mission because we go to Athena's here, and I love me some Athena's. Basically this mission, this is where we first meet Ava, which, we will get into some thoughts on Ava later, but Ava, see, I don't hate Ava, but what they did with Ava, it makes me need to hate Ava, even though I don't hate Ava. So
he does. He hates Ava. He actually does. He told me himself.
No. When I
did.
first met Ava, I liked her. I liked Ava when I first met her, but
And then we got to the ending, and then you absolutely hated her.
I don't hate her. I hate what they did with her. I'll say that. So, but we re-meet Maya here in this mission. We meet Ava. We go to some crypts. We take down some rats and have some fun there. This is actually the mission that Zombie and I did on stream with D-Gen. He would join us for this mission. Remember that?
Did it?
Yeah.
Sorry, D-Gen, if I can't remember that, but that was like literally I don't know how many weeks ago. So
I remember that. Yeah, that was the mission that D-Gen was on with us.
Yeah.
He wasn't on for very long, but he joined for this one.
Yeah.
So he helped us out with this Athena's mission.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much that. That's kind of the gist of that mission.
Yeah, I kind of like the way like each Pacific planet has their own different species that live on there.
But that impending storm mission 7 is literally the only mission in the entire game that's on Athena's, right?
Yeah, so. Literally. You can go back there to do one side mission, and that's it.
Like, honestly, I don't know if you think they will or not, Zombie, but they really got to have some kind of DLC on Athena's. Like, why create the entire planet and have nothing happen there? Like, they got to have some kind of DLC there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they probably will. They're probably planning to have a DLC on there. Hell, we don't know. Maybe this Halloween event might take place on Athena's, for all we know.
Maybe.
Even though I'm probably wrong by saying that, and they probably already picked out a location where it's going to take place already. Apparently it's a different planet, I think.
I got to put Mission 7, top 3 of the game automatically, just because it's the only mission we have at Athena's, so automatically it has to be up there, because I need to go back to Athena's.
Of course you do. Oh, man.
Which, actually, there's some fun side missions involved with that, too. I remember Porter Prison. This is like a weird mission where this guy's like stuck in a porta potty. Remember that mission? And basically you have to like follow the porta potty around. He gets like lifted and transported. You have to like rescue the guy from the porta potty. It's like the weirdest mission ever, but
yeah, which you never do, because once the actual potty takes off, it basically ends up being, he's evil now while still in the porta potty, and then you blow him up, and that's that. Just. Okay.
And then I think we did this one too, Technical Nog Out. I think that's where we got that Nog grenade that can control Nogs.
Yeah. But we never used it. We never used it, because it was
I never used it, but I think I still kept it in my vault just because
I didn't. I tried it. It's worthless.
Really?
In my opinion, it's worthless. It controls them for like 3 seconds, and then he just turn back on you. So they could be literally like right next to you, and they'll just turn and start shooting you instead.
That's kind of useless then.
Yeah.
I think I kept it just. I'm like, this is kind of a unique, weird grenade. Let me keep it, I guess. So.
Yeah. But
Space Laser Tag and Atlas at Last. What do you have to say about those missions?
Fun. Literally.
All right, that's big words there, Zombie.
Yeah. It was really fun to do them, even though Space Laser Tag is the mission I was on about earlier, which gets really annoying.
Yes.
That has Kagura Ball at the end, and
that's the most annoying mission in the game.
It is annoying because just imagine you verse a massive waves of horde, you clear them all out, and then another one just comes in, basically making all the stuff you did worthless. It's just that, like, the enemies are non-stop. It's like at a point where, can I actually get a break? I know it's Borderlands and I like it, but on the other side, I'm like, can I get a break so I can actually get health and reload and get ammo?
Well, but even the Katagata Ball, I mean, that has like 3 shields on it, and the thing keeps just re-shielding itself. So
yeah, literally, the Kagura Ball, it has this new bar of health to a boss. And it has a yellow bar, which is armor. And then it has blue shields to it. It has 2 shields to it, like 2 separate shields. And oh my god, was that a pain, because it got to the point where if you were even watching the stream, I had to go into my like level like something on character that I'd already done the mission just to come in and defeat it. Because that's how sick of the mission we were getting.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only mission in the game that I got frustrated with, I would say, because the Katagawa Ball, like, if you're not leveled up enough, that's a hard boss.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say, because, like, I mean, the rest of the bosses, honestly, like, this felt like the most annoying boss in the game to me. Because, like, the rest of the bosses, they went down, fairly, I wouldn't say easy, but, like, they were, appropriate difficulty, I would say. But I would
Yeah.
say the Katagawa Ball, for the level you are when you face this, like, it's fairly early on still, the level you are when you face this, it's a lot tougher than it should be.
Yeah. I think he did get some nerfs after, like, week 1, though.
Well, maybe we can go face him again, then he'll be easier.
Yeah, he is easy. He's technically easy now. It's just because they patched Joe, where he constantly did that one spinny move that constantly kept one-hitting us.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't do that all the time now. It's like a one-off thing he does on, like, his third stage.
Okay. That's not bad then.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it
that's
doesn't do it
that
all
one.
the time. So, yeah.
Atlas at Last. What do you have to say about that?
Now, this going into Atlas HQ, and can I just say, I like Atlas HQ. I like the whole thing of just having a warm home front. I just love that whole like battle that you have to do to obviously defend Atlas. Like, I love it. That whole boss fight.
That is a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
and honestly, the
so much
boss
fun.
fight at the end to fight Katagawa himself, that's a pretty fun boss fight. And
Yeah.
he's got like multiple versions of himself, and you basically have to shoot whatever version you think is the right one.
Yeah. It is really fun. That mission's really good. Like, both of them are for, like, a fight point. So you don't get bored of those missions where you're just constantly running around. Like, some
Yeah, I think you
missions
said
do,
you
but-
farmed that mission a lot, right? Where you face Katagawa?
Yeah, I farmed it to try to get a certain things off of him, but I never did.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Once you get to level 50, that's all it is, though, just farming.
But you get to see Reese's office and everything, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I believe that's where you are mentioning the Easter egg that you see Sasha.
Yeah. You see, there's a picture of her on Reese's desk.
But we're kind of spoiling, or I guess not saying the best part of this though. At the very end of the mission, the best part of the mission is you get to tell Reese whether to cut off his stash or keep it.
Yeah, and keep it in mind, this is another reference because he will remember this. I love that nod because he came from a Telltale series, so let's add that nod into it. And I was like, great job, like, fair enough.
And I chose to cut off his stash, and the cool thing that I did with that is if you choose to cut off his stash, it actually becomes a weapon trinket. So
Yeah.
you get it as a weapon trinket now.
Yeah. What's good about that is you could be. I was in Blaise's game when he cut it off. In mine, I didn't. So not only did I get the trinket for cutting it off, he got to keep it in my one.
Which is cool. I like how they did that.
Yeah.
But moving on, we are going to talk about the next three: Beneath the Meridian, Hammerlock, and Lair of the Harpy. So, what do you want to call out from these? Is there any of these that speak to you more than the other ones?
The first vault boss under the Meridian.
Beneath the Meridian?
Yeah. The Ravager, that boss battle, that first vault boss, that is a really crucial point in the story. Because a lot of major stuff happens at that point. One of them
the
being...
Rampager.
Yeah, the Rampager is a really fun boss. I love doing that boss. Like, I love the different stages it has. Going from being just like, oh, it's not bothered about these Vault Hunters attacking it, to be like a full-ass fucking, like, rat dragon that's breathing fire all over you. I'm like, it's really cool, the transformation it makes. I'm like, okay. Like, it felt like a legit boss. It didn't annoy me or anything, I just found it really fun. Just sit there.
And refresh me, I think it's a different one I'm thinking of. This is not the one that tilts the stage, right?
No, that comes later.
Okay. I thought so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rampager, I didn't really find him, like, super, super fun, but it was cool, so.
Yeah. And this
Basically,
is...
his mission is pretty much just beating the Vault Boss. That's pretty much all the mission is.
Yeah. And then, since this is a Spoilercast, don't say, obviously, the name of the stream, and this didn't warn you about this, but this is where we have our first major death of the game. And it's not a fun one. Not a fun one indeed. Because we lose a character that I actually liked, who I personally played in Borderlands 2 on stream. We lose Maya at this point.
We do.
And I'm like, oh, that hits home. It's the first death that I'm like, oh, that actually hits home. That hurts. That hurts.
And her siren powers transfer to Troy at that point.
Yeah.
Because basically Troy sucks the power out of her, and, Ava's all sad, and then pretty much, Ava's yelling at Lilith because Lilith didn't do anything, which what is Lilith supposed to do? But anyways.
Because at this point as well, the main villain Tyrene had already taken Lilith's powers off of her before they even got on Sanctuary, so she's basically a normal human who doesn't even have any powers, so she would have been useless in the situation.
Yeah, honestly, now that I'm looking back, like, maybe I really should hate Ava, because, like, literally looking back, all Ava does all game is just complain. Really all she does.
I'm glad you finally noticed this. That's literally all she does. She just moans. Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even fight. She's just like, oh, guys, why did you do this, guys? Guys, oh my god, this happened. Guys, why aren't you doing this?
This is the first ever time you hear a Blaise voice break multiple times. Laugh at it while you can. Oh my god.
Well, that's kind of how she sounds, though. I guess in the first mission you meet her, like when you first meet her, she doesn't seem all that bad, but quickly she becomes kind of annoying.
Yeah, at first she reminded me of a Tina, and then I was like, yeah, at this point you have no right to be even compared to Tiny Tina. You don't.
Now I'm honestly even, we're not there yet, but I'm honestly even more mad about the end of the game now that I'm like seeing this more.
Yeah.
Now I hate the end even more. But I will say though that in Hammerlock we do meet my boy Brick again. So you know, we got my boy Brick back.
And Tina, and Mordecai, and Hammerlock. Yep. Because let's add 4 back in right off the bat. Okay, I'll take it. Especially since, oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. Tina's older than me. That's weird. Considering she was like,
cool,
considering she was like 5+ odd years off of me, and now she's a year older than me. Like, I felt it kind of weird.
There you go, Stompy. You can date her now.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, like, well, just enough, you know, if you do side missions for her, I think she's already taken. Just saying.
Already taken?
That's an awkward. Whew. But yeah.
Do the side missions.
Do the side missions. No, she isn't taken. But there's a weird scenario that happens. It's just, I tried to explain it, but
alright.
I'd end up basically making everyone's heads go around in circles.
But the boss at the end of this is the Warden. Nothing special there, really, but this mission is more special because you get to see, you know, old characters again, like Rick, Tina, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is just a reunion mission, as I call it.
Hammerlock. I've never been a huge fan of Hammerlock, so I wasn't really super happy to see him, but Rick and Tina was happy to see him.
Yeah, and then obviously you get the bit where, obviously you find out that he's came out, and I was just like, okay, I did not know this. I should have known this, because apparently it was in the law of BL2, sorry. But, yeah, apparently I didn't know, so. And I have nothing to say about it, because, just, okay.
Well, I'm sure when Tandis listens to this, he's going to be like, Zombie, yeah, you should have known that, Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
Because he always likes to give you shit on that stuff, so.
Yeah, I know.
But then we move on to Mission 12, Lair of the Harpy. This is about the midway point of the game here. And honestly, the only really cool thing about this mission for me is we get to meet Wainwright for the first time. He's the leader of the Jacobs Munitions. And, you know, he's a pretty cool guy, I think. Much cooler than Hammerlock, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. So.
Well, you meet him in Hammerlocked first, because he's the one who sends you on the quest to actually rescue Hammerlock.
Oh, true, yeah. My bad.
So,
but you actually talk to him more in this match.
Yeah. And then you have to head to his estate, because at this point, Eden 6 is where we're at, by the way. And at this point, his family owned Eden 6. And now it's at the point where it's just like, well, he doesn't, so he needs to get into his estate and get some kind of plan together. And that's what you're tasked with, is going into the estate and retrieving something for him.
And we do meet an anointed Goliath in this too. So
yeah, and also, when you first encounter here, Hammerlock's sister makes an appearance, and she was a DLC character for the pre-sequel, Aurelia, and she's a villain now. Oh my. I sounded really cringe when I said oh my then. That was weird. I'm never doing that again. Okay, anyway. Enough about that. But yeah. Yeah, she's a villain now. And, yep, she's being a total bitch to you.
And she basically wants to kill her brother, so.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's fun, but.
Yep.
But then we move on to the Guns of Reliance, the Family Jewel, and Going Rogue. So what do we have here, Sam?
Well, what we have here is basically taking back Eden 6, and
Correct.
this is where the plans start to come together to obviously take back Eden 6, and the Family Jewel, which you mentioned, is one of the highlights, because this is where we meet Balex, and that dysfunctional thing with, obviously, Wainwright Father's ship that crashed in the jungle that you go to.
Yeah, Balex is really cool. He's one of my favorite new characters in the game.
That is it definitely not because he's voiced by Ice-T. What?
To me, the best new characters, I think, are Wainwright, Balex, and Typhon DeLeon. That's my favorite 3 new characters.
Oh, well, we never get to see Typhon again. Oh, that's fun.
I think he's still cool, though.
Oh, yeah, it was cool, yeah. I love the intro they did for him.
Time we saw him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But notice how I
agree.
did not say Ava anywhere. I did not mention Ava in this.
Well, because we've just gone on about how you bloody hate her.
Hey, I'm not alone. Watch Angry Joe. Angry Joe agrees with me.
Yep, and that's where you got your opinion from the ending from.
That's not where I got my opinion. I had my own opinion, but I agree with his opinion.
But yeah.
I think he was harsher than I am, honestly.
Yeah, because that's Angry Joe for you. He's harsh on everything.
That's true. He's angry. He's one of my YouTubers I do enjoy watching. He's just fun to watch sometimes.
And we may as well do what I was saying because you've mentioned him like 4 times. Shout out to Angry Joe. Okay. Not like you'd ever be watching this, but you know.
No. We don't do shout-outs on the podcast, Zombie.
You just did them! Alright, like, I felt like guests can't do it. I'm sorry. Okay, it won't happen again, right? Go on, Blaise. You want all the shout-outs.
You know, unless you're shouting out like your mom or something, you know, that's alright.
I won't do that. Go on, you shout out your favourite YouTuber. Go on. Sorry, I'm still in the limelight now.
You know, if you want to say, you know, shout out to my mom, you know, for letting me be on this podcast, you know.
Yep, shout out to Blaise for not informing me of that rule beforehand. Wait, I broke the rule again, didn't I? Oh, sorry. Whoops.
But, so, in Guns of Reliance, we have to free Dalton, basically. That's kind of like the end of the mission, what we have to, our end goal is. But we are talking to several different people along the way. We have to free some rebels. We have to work with Clay, and
Clay's a cool character. I like Clay.
I like Clay. Yeah, Clay is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But honestly, that mission wasn't really like. It was kind of like a mission to me, and it wasn't like super great. It wasn't super bad either.
Yeah, what I like about this Borderlands is there are no like fetch quests apart from at the start. Like, once you get into the heat of the game, like in the middle of the game, all of this is just non-stop action throughout it. Of just always killing enemies, constantly.
Right.
Which I like.
And as you said in the Family Jewel, we do find Balex. Awesome character. And we get to kill Genevieve. So, you know, fighting Genevieve was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like killing Genevieve.
I liked it, yeah.
So, you know, rest in peace, Genevieve.
Whoa, but that's not the end of that saga.
Oh, it's not now.
No, because when we head on to the next missions, or in this case, when we get back to the ship, she's inside the ship.
Yep.
Oh, well. And then basically all that is just, kill some bots, go up to the main bridge, and then Balex literally flushes her out the system, and then Marcus takes this to use as weapon AI.
Which, you know, Balex is a cool guy, so he makes sure we're alright, so.
Yeah.
Shout out to Balex.
Yeah. I just love after you get him, I just love the stuff he says over, the comm.
But, going rogue is basically where we try to find out who the traitor is. So there's a traitor that, betrayed Wainwright and everything, and we have to try to figure out who it is, you know. We have to try and find Archimedes' ID, locate Agent D, Agent Quietfoot.
Yeah. It's a bunch of different people.
We're locating all these different agents, and we're like, okay, locate these agents, you know, who's the traitor and stuff like that. And at the end of it all, we find out that who is the traitor?
I forgot the name.
Archimedes.
Archimedes, is that it right? Well,
Yeah,
it's because it's kind of one of those characters just like, oh, it's there for that mission, and it's not really a standout one.
right. But basically, he's the one that you find the ID for at the beginning of the mission, and they basically make it look like, oh, this body looked like his body, but it
Yeah,
wasn't actually his
they
body.
do an awful job of that, by the way. It's so predictable who it is, who's the traitor is. Could have done that better, to be honest, but
I didn't mind it. I mean,
yeah, I didn't
to me
mind
it
it.
was alright. But
Yeah, and it's portrayed Clay, by the way, not Wainwright. I don't think Wainwright had a bunch of rogues that worked with him.
oh, okay, yeah. My
Yeah,
bad. Betrayed Clay.
I can just imagine that though, like Wainwright in one of those outfits now.
But it's off of this mission though that we get one of our favorite side missions of the game, and that's sellout.
Yeah, yeah, that's when Borderlands 3 sells out.
Yeah, the game sells out. There's no more copies left in the shelves, and
Yeah.
basically, the mission is you walk into a GameStop and you just buy all the copies. That's pretty much the mission.
Yeah, that's the mission. It's a real life mission, which I like. Get on your VR, guys.
And then after it sells out, GameStop goes out of business, and it's a sad end to the mission. But
Yeah, and then you get back to reality and then realize what the mission actually is, which is technically another one, a returning mission. So basically, when Handsome Jack back in number 2 tells you to kill yourself and he will reward you, Tyreen does the exact same thing, and she has a whole death box already allocated to it. And obviously, because we're sellouts, Blaise, we both did it, and we got her gun. And for the rest of the game, she just starts saying stuff over the gun. So basically, it's a talking gun with her voice in it that basically keeps us talking and talking. And sometimes it's annoying.
it's kind of cool because after you already kill her or something like that, you can just keep using that gun and have a gun that reminds you of her. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a little keepsake.
Yep, until it gets really annoying, and then you're like, yeah, you know what? I've had enough.
But moving on, we have Cold as the Grave, Blood Drive, and Angels and Speed Demons are next missions. So what do we have to call out here?
So, I might have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the mission where you're collecting parts, or the last vault key, for that planet, because as you go to each planet, you have to collect the vault keys by doing all these missions. And by this time, you'd already done the Prometheus one.
And this is the mission that you defeat Aurelia.
Yeah, and this is the mission where you defeat Aurelia, and you kill another Vault Hunter, because, I have that kill count in my past. And notice how the only major deaths that have happened in this so far are all the bloody Vault Hunters. Oh man!
Yeah, they couldn't kill this girl named Dennis. Sorry, Dennis. Sorry guys, I had a cough there.
But they just kill all of them. Yeah, but they're killing more pre-sequel characters. I'm guessing because they realised how much of a flop that game was. They're just killing off all the Vault Hunters from that.
Well, where's Timothy then?
Well, actually, there is a reference to him. I think he's alive, but he has a different name now. I think it turns out, in the lore, he went into acting, like stage acting, on Prometheus.
Gotcha.
So that's where he is. There is tapes about Craig and what happened to him. So, and it's kind of sad, those tapes, though.
Well, moving on, though, we have Blood Drive and Angels and Speed Demons. So, what do you remember about those two missions?
First time in a while, actually going back to not Prometheus, because we've done all this arc on at that point. Going back to Pandora, and then having to go to Carnivora, and then I'm trying to remember like half of it.
You're only trying to remember half?
Shut up. Well, we forgot to mention as well, Cold as the Grave, after you kill Aurelia, that's when the Vault Boss comes in there. Probably one of my favourite ones. The one that actually tilts the level. There you go, now we're doing the one that tilts the level. Grave Ward.
Yes.
And I personally enjoy this boss. I think this is a really cool boss.
Yeah, I think Grave Ward's pretty cool, and from what you told me, that's one of the only bosses left in the game that's worth farming, because they've nerfed everything.
Yeah, him and Tyreen, yeah. But we'll get on to what Tyreen is later.
So, where does the Angels and Speed Demons take us up to in the story? Because this is basically, when we originally streamed it the first week, this is basically where we ended, and Then we did one more stream where we finished the story, starting with Greatfall.
Yep. So beforehand, before we obviously took we took the break from it and stuff like that. We did. That was the part we were doing Carnivora and we were reversing Pain and Terror. That's where you had to next to do all that.
I'm trying to get you to say one of the big story plots here that happens in this mission that I hate because I don't want to say
it. Okay, so then after we defeat the Pain and Terror with the Antagonizer 9000, which I liked her as a boss. I don't know if Blaise did or not, considering he kept not being able to even see the boss because it kept basically kicking him off the level, so he couldn't do anything.
I think it was a cool boss. Honestly, it was a cool boss.
Yeah, it was a cool boss until you realised that Blaise couldn't even actually fight the thing.
Basically, this giant machine that it's like a crop duster machine. It feels like.
Yeah, I liked the boss. I thought it was a really load of fun. I mean, for people that obviously don't like getting killed a lot, I can understand why it would be fun. I know personally I heard you starting to get annoyed with it because every time you jump down, the chopping blade would be coming by and it'd knock you down every time.
Well, yeah, because I couldn't tell what was happening, so I jumped down and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yep, and I'm dead now. And then he'd die, do the same thing again, and keep losing money and then try to blame me for it. I'm like, well, I can't. It's not my fault. I'm telling you when it drops and then you're just dropping at the wrong time. But
hey, it was all your fault, Zombie. Everything's your fault always.
Yeah. Probably it is.
But go on. What's the story element here? I don't want to say it, so don't make me say it. You say it.
And then the major plot line coming out of this, and this was at the point where we were both on the same level and I hadn't advanced or anything like that, was that Tannis is a siren, and Blaise was pissed, and I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah. To say that I was unhappy was
understatement.
A little bit of an understatement.
No, it was a huge understatement.
Because Zombie, for anyone that doesn't know, do you want to tell the audience that from Borderlands 1, who is the character I've hated in Borderlands 1?
Tannis. I mean, it's obvious because if you watch the streams, he says it all the bloody time. But you know, but yeah, he's hated Tannis, he's wanted her to die, and then she becomes a siren, which basically means in that one, she's got plot armor, which means she probably won't die.
For 4 freaking games, I have hated this girl, and she will not die. Everyone around her dies. She does absolutely nothing. She never fights a single thing, and in 4 games, she lives, everyone else dies. What the hell?
I personally love it because you're just really you get annoyed by it, and I just laugh my head off.
Like, let's make anyone else a siren. Like, I mean, make Tiny Tina a siren. She'd be a cool siren. Like, you know, she does stuff.
I actually like that, to be honest.
At least she blows shit up, you know.
Not good.
Make Ellie a siren. Like, Ellie's cool, you know. Everyone likes Ellie. Make Ellie a siren. Like,
Ellie as a siren.
Somebody interesting a siren.
No, I don't think Ellie as a siren would work. Tina would work. I see Tina being a siren. Ellie, not so much.
Hell, you even make another guy siren. You know, Troy was a guy siren, so, you know.
The first one, by the way. First one in the series, by the way. Like that touch.
So let's have another guy siren, you know, like, anyone. Like, let's have Brick be a siren. You know, he'd be a cool siren.
Brick, well, actually, he does fantasize about being a siren.
See, there you go. So,
yeah.
Let's take her powers away, give him to Brick, you know. He can just use his fists and, you know, beat up some stuff, and we'll be all good. Everybody will be happy.
Oh, God.
Nobody needs Tannis as a siren. Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this figure box.
Funny thing is, she's a siren, but she doesn't fight, and she has the worst power ever of just only being able to control machines to her bend and will. Basically meaning that her as a siren is useless because she can't actually get into fights without having a machine with her that she can hack.
Exactly. Which is why you should give her powers to somebody like Brick that can already fight, because then he can do that while fighting.
If they would have given it to Tina, I would have been like, oh my god, best thing they've ever done. I would have loved that.
Yes. If they give it to Tina instead, and they make Tina a focal point, okay, I'm on board. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm on board because it's just Tina in general, and who doesn't like Tina? Tina's awesome.
And where the hell is my Dr. Zed?
Well, there's a whole lore to that, apparently, so. Apparently,
what happened to him? I want him back instead of Dennis.
he's not dead. There's a good start to it. But basically, he basically didn't want to ever leave Pandora because that's kind of like his home world, and all of his customers are there. So he now owns, I'm pretty sure it's a caravan that goes around helping the people of Pandora. There's an actual ad for it on the radios around the map that you can hear. So,
well, we need to get him to leave Pandora and take over for Tannis.
I don't think you will.
But anyways, this is the point where I started to hate the story at this point. So basically, we stopped like our initial. We did like 4 or 5 days in a row Borderlands coverage at the start of the release, and this is where we stopped. And then we didn't finish the last 5 missions for a while. It was probably like a couple weeks after that. And then we came back to do the Great Vault, the first Vault Hunter, and Footsteps of Giants. So, what do we have in here, Zombie?
Well, first of all, the Great Vault. You have a whole massive cliffhanger to that, being that, and this is what I was surprised about when we actually did it before. Obviously, we left it on the cliffhanger of Elpis is the key to the Great Vault.
It is.
And when obviously
Troy basically tries to pull it towards us.
Yeah, which he successfully does. First time an actual boss has actually been successful at doing something on this game on Borderlands. So well done, Troy, I guess. But but yeah, he's basically charging Elpis. So I feel sorry for anyone that was left on Elpis because they're all probably dead now, which is fun. And if not, they're all dead by the ending. But yeah. So Elpis is basically, we find out that Elpis is the key to the Great Vault. Now at this point, we're like, okay, so it's just a vault on Pandora. Oh, okay. But turns out, once you defeat Troy, and then you have what I think is a funny thing that happens, where they essentially do a fake out ending on you. They try to do a fake out ending, and
that's what I spoke about earlier.
Yeah, the fake out ending, and I like what he did. I found it hilarious. Oh, you think Tyrene's dead? No, she gets up, throws rocks on top of Ava, Lilith, and Tannis, make you believe they're all dead, and that Blaise would actually get his happy ending of Tannis being dead, but then you realise that it's a fake ending, and then Tannis, obviously is alive still, everyone's still alive, and then Blaise is like, oh.
Yeah, see, if that was the real ending, that is a better ending. I would rather end the game there.
Yeah.
I really would. Like, that's a better ending. Like, let's have them all dead. It's fine, Ava and Tannis, nobody gives a shit, whatever. They could be dead.
What about Lilith?
Lilith, Lilith, well, by the end, she's basically potentially dead anyways, so she'd have a better death at this point.
Fair. But yeah.
And then, Tina could take over and be like the cool siren. We could have Balex steer them around the area and, have some fun there. We could have Brick come back, use his fists a little bit.
Okay.
Mordecai could snipe some shit, and, we'd have a good time.
Okay.
This ending would have been a good ending. I mean,
but anyway,
why did they do a fake out? This would have been the perfect ending.
Okay, so they do the fake out, and then Typhon de Leon gets on it, and we learn that Typhon de Leon is the first ever Vault Hunter to ever have existed. And he goes basically going, oh, you've doomed the whole universe, you need to come to me now on Necra de Feo. And Necra de Feo is the Iridian homeworld, which has been a myth for pretty much every single game. But then what you also find out from that is that Elpis is charging the Great Vault. What you don't know is that the Great Vault is the planet you've been on for these 3 games, which the past 2 games, so 1 and 2, Pandora. Pandora has been one massive vault all along.
It has.
What did you think of that? I found that surprising.
I thought it was pretty cool, and honestly, I thought it was cool meeting the first Vault Hunter on Necra de Feo. I liked his little lair that he has. It's a pretty cool little lair with his 2 little robot companions.
Yeah, I like it as well because you get more lore on the Iridians and like what their homeworld actually looked like. And I've got to say, Necra de Feo is probably one of my favorite planets of the game because it looks amazing.
And that's also where we have that stupid cube that wouldn't open right for us.
Yeah, we have a cube, and one stream I basically, before, obviously when we were doing it, I'll be honest, I played dumb, I already knew you could open it. Sorry. But, I didn't want to just immediately go, oh, we can open this, and then you go, oh, how? And then go, basically, and open it at a low level where you'll get nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, I couldn't even open it anyways because the game glitched it, so.
Yeah.
No, we basically spent one stream where we just literally screwed around all stream with cable. We just doing duels, trying to open these stupid cubes, and it was kind of a weird stream.
Yeah. But you get to Necrotafeo, and then you talk to Typhon de Leon. And in the actual pictures of him, you see a very tall, what some people were saying, handsome man. As much as the girls would say in the game. Turns out he's a short midget. And I just love the introduction to him where the camera's like there at first, you just see his shadow crafting something. And then it just like pans down to look at him. And I just love the line that he says, just like, what? Were you expecting something different?
Yeah, we kind of were. So.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. I like the relationship with the bots as well, because they have their own side missions and their own story arc, and I like as well.
Yeah, I haven't done the side missions yet, but it seems cool, so
Yeah.
I'll have to try those out now.
But then after that, basically, Typhon then helps you get the last key that you need to open basically the Doomsday potential basically device to stop Pandora from actually opening, which is still weird to say. A planet actually opening because it's an actual vault that holds the Destroyer, which was the first thing you defeated in the first game. Turns out it's back and it's been imprisoned in Pandora for ages. But yeah, so you're doing all these missions to help them get all set up. You kill more Marlawan people because Marlawan's the villains for this, and they have a fleet. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? Because for the past 3 games, all we've known from Marlawan is that it's a weapons company, and somehow they now have a massive fleet and they're evil. Just okay then. But yeah, you do all these missions. Typhon helps you out, and then the major plot point you realise from this is the Calypsos. That Typhon is the father of the Calypso twins. Oh wow. I know you had a reaction to this, Blaise. I found it pretty cool, like, when that was revealed. I don't know what you thought.
For what part again?
When Typhon's revealed to be the father of Tyrene and Troy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. That was really cool, honestly, and I did like that story beat, so I think that's a very, very cool story choice, and I really like that he was their father. And it's kind of like, what? Wait, he fathered these people? Like, well, how? Like, how did they get off of there? Like, why are they bad now? Like, so.
Yeah, and I liked how they explained it. Rather than leaving you on a cliffhanger, he explains it in his own words about what happened, and you really do feel sad for him.
Yeah, basically his wife died, they were trying to make a home on Necrotafeo, and basically his kids, they liked his stories of adventure so much that they wanted to have their own adventures, and he couldn't really stop it.
Yeah. And it is sad because the line that he said, the line he says is sad though. Like, even though he was like a first-rated Vault Hunter, he was a third-rate Pops, and I was just like, I feel sad for him because he did try, but obviously he didn't try hard enough, and it resulted in nearly the end of the universe. So I think he kind of takes that guilt on his shoulders with that.
And we have our last 2 missions in the Shadow of Starlight and Divine Retribution, and his own kid actually kills him.
Yeah, so you go through all this massive mission of obviously activating the Doomsday device just to have Tyrene come in and destroy the Doomsday device, so you can't actually use it. So that Pandora keeps opening, and then Typhon tries to stop her, and yeah.
And at first it seems like he does, but then she kind of channels some energy and shoots him backwards.
Yeah, this is where you see like the big prime of obviously what Tyrene's power actually is like, and I find it like it is sad obviously seeing Typhon die because he goes up with a bang. Generally, I'll give him that. He goes out with a bang. Best way he probably could have gone out rather than being a wimp. So, great story arc for Typhon, by the way. Whoever wrote that, that was like really good. That was like Handsome Jack levels of writing for that whole story.
Yeah, he's
That it was so good.
a much cooler character than like someone like Ava.
Yeah, the way they wrote Typhon, I wanted him to live still. Because I felt he was a really good character. Like, the way they wrote the whole arc out in Necrodefeo.
Yeah, he's very cool.
Yeah, the whole way they did Necrodefeo, in my opinion, was really, really good. It's one of, like, the more best written parts of the game, in my opinion. Like, because the story-driven mode, like, of obviously Necrodefeo is so good. It's really good. And credit to whoever wrote that bit, because it's really good. It's touching and wondrous at the exact same time. And I loved it. I loved being a Necrodefeo.
But of course, that does bring us to the end here, and the end boss is of course Tyrene. But what happens with Tyrene?
So Tyrene, obviously, with all with all final bosses, the villain gets what they want. So obviously, like Handsome Jack got the warrior in the end of the second game. Tyrene becomes an actual god, not in the way you'd expect. But she merges with the Destroyer, and then you have to verse Tyrene, the Destroyer. Which
it's weird. It's like her head like pops out of him, and
yeah, it's like a Resident Evil boss. That's how it's the best way to describe that. But it's a really really fun boss battle. I know because obviously you had to go somewhere, Blaise, at that point, right? We had to like have it done in like a 20-minute gap, so we kind of rushed the final boss battle. But if I was to take you through that again, like doing it legitly, right, you'll see how much of a really really fun boss battle it was, and how long it takes, but it's really fun.
Yeah, I think it was pretty fun too, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then
that part I enjoyed at least, but what comes next I didn't enjoy.
And then we get the ending. The controversial ending where, for the first ever time ever, guys, get this, we actually have separate opinions. Completely separate. Not just slightly, we have completely separate opinions to the ending. And now this works into a debate. But yeah, so the ending takes place, and the Great Vault's still opening even though you've defeated the monster inside of it. Elpis is still ripping Pandora apart. And as Tannis says, there's no way to literally turn this off unless you basically get rid of the moon. And going off a quote that Ava said to Lilith at the start when Lilith wasn't exactly in the right state of mind to fighting a war, if you have to go towards the fire, Lilith does that at the end after getting her powers back and runs towards the fire and essentially sacrifices herself to save Pandora and basically leaves her symbol of the Firehawk on Elpis as like a guardian to watch over, essentially passing the torch to Ava. Now, I liked it. I like this engine in my way personally. I liked it. I liked the way they did it, and then the song at the end I liked as well. A Girl on Fire, by the way, that's the song that they had for the credits, and I liked it. Thought that was touching. But I know people that didn't agree with me on that ending, and one of them is Blaise, and I'll let obviously Blaise do his opinion of it now. So,
well, I mean, after the ending, I basically just sat there on stream silently for a little while, and I was kind of just stewing my own thoughts, and then I had to let it out that was a horrible ending, and it was worse than the ending for Borderlands 1, worse than the ending for Borderlands 2, and worse than the ending for the pre-sequel. It was the worst ending of any Borderlands game. Worse than Tales, too. So, by far the worst ending of any Borderlands game. The ending is complete shit. There is nothing redeeming about it at all. You basically lose a character in Lilith, which, whether she's alive or not, she's pretty much out of the picture at this point. So, you basically lose a character in Lilith that had been there since the beginning of the game, the beginning of the series in Borderlands 1, and was this commander that we could all trust. You lose her. In return, you get Tannis as a siren, who does nothing, does not fight anyone, and literally just sits in the office and barks orders at you, which no one likes that. I mean, she basically tells you, "Oh, go find me this, go find me this," while she just sits there and does nothing, and she gets to be a siren and gets to have some control in the game. And then, of course, you have Ava, who, she gets to be a siren too, and she basically is left in charge of Sanctuary and left in charge of the entire team when literally her contribution to the team has been complaining the entire time, whining about everything, and she has not fought a single thing. She doesn't do anything, and she basically becomes a siren and takes control of the entire team when there's all these other people that actually matter in the game. So basically, you have Ava and Tannis leading things when they're the two most useless characters in the entire Borderlands series, and you basically have useless characters leading you along the way. From now on, the end.
Yep, that's runs over. For me, if they would have put more of like a story feel to Ava, I feel like it kind of would have been somewhat justified. But in DLCs, we might actually find out what happened to Lilith, or we might have like a time jump or something like that.
Well, yeah, if they made Ava's story worthwhile, then if they made her earn it, then I'm cool with that. But neither Tannis nor Ava earned any credit. They didn't do anything to earn anything. I mean, if they had give it to someone that's earned some credit. I know you say he doesn't want it, but make Mordecai the leader or something like that. At least give someone that earned credit the credit. Ava did nothing and Tannis did nothing. They have both done nothing the entire series to earn any credit. Especially Ava. I mean, Tannis, even though I hate Tannis, at least Tannis has been there since the first game. At least she's been around. And you're still not even going to give it to Tannis? At least if they gave it to Tannis instead of Ava, I could at least say, well, I hate Tannis and it sucks, but at least it's more earned. But instead, the one in charge of Sanctuary and in charge of the entire operation is this little girl, Ava, who we just met this game, and all she did all game was whine. And she's in charge of everyone?
Yeah. But yeah, DLCs might confirm something different that's happened, along with a few other things. It just depends solely on that, really.
Well, unless the DLC suddenly kills off Tannis and Ava, and Fiona is now in charge or something, I'll be good with that. But I don't think the DLC
Lilith
is
that isn't actually dead, and maybe you play as Lilith and actually get off of Elpis.
I guess that'd be okay, but I mean, honestly, I'm never going to be super, super thrilled until Tannis dies. Hopefully, Borderlands 4, they can grant my wish. They gotta kill her off at some point, right? I mean, Dr. Zed can come back. He can be the doctor. We don't need another doctor. We got Dr. Zed. He can be our doctor. Tannis can just die, and the world can be happier. I mean, we want the world to be a happy place, don't we? Everyone wants that, right? Okay, so let's just kill Tannis. The world's a happy place, and we can move on with our lives.
I feel like at this point you're slowly going insane, Blaise.
No. Listening to Tannis is going insane.
Fair.
I mean, Borderlands 1, I had to listen to all her little audio files, and yeah, I grew a dislike for her pretty early on.
Fair enough.
I mean, I can't get behind a character that literally does nothing except send you on fetch quests, and they have no merit to them at all. There's nothing Tannis has ever done that has wow, that's Tannis. She's a badass. She's far from it. So yeah. I mean, hell, I'm not a huge Hammerlock fan, but make Hammerlock the leader or something. At least Hammerlock's done shit in his life. I mean, he's at least hunted some big game and shit. I mean, hey, at least the guy has done stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go behind Hammerlock. Why not? Or hell, make Balex our leader. Balex can be a leader. Ice-T is our leader. Why not? I mean, these are all better options. Every one of these is better option. Or, who could be the leader, Zombie? Still a better option than Tannis. Still a better option than Ava. You know who could be our leader?
Who?
Baron Flint.
Oh, for God's sake.
We could bring him back.
Yeah, unless, you have something that can bring people back from the dead.
It's Borderlands. There's got to be something out there.
There probably isn't.
We could bring Baron Flint back. He could make his grand reappearance, and he could be the new leader. It all fall on Baron Flint.
God, you're never gonna let that go, are you?
Probably not. But anyways, that's the story of Borderlands 3. So, any other thoughts?
Well, I like the story, and obviously you obviously see the rating. Obviously, I gave on the 100th episode podcast. I thought it was solid.
Don't get it wrong. Like I like the game. I like Borderlands 3 as a game.
Yeah.
I just don't like the story. I'm not like my disdain is not disliking the game. Like I said on the Borderlands, when we talked about Borderlands in the episode 100, I even said that I like the Vault Hunters better in Borderlands 3 than Borderlands 2. Like I think the Vault Hunters are actually better Vault Hunters. So
Yeah.
like Moe's, Flak. Like I think the Vault Hunters in Borderlands 3 are more interesting than the Vault Hunters in Borderlands 2. So I definitely give props for that, and I think it's better in that respect. But I think other than the Vault Hunters, I think Borderlands 2 did everything better besides the Vault Hunters.
Fair enough.
But we'll see how the DLC goes. Maybe we haven't seen the DLC yet. Maybe the DLC of Borderlands 3 will be better than Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, the first event's coming up soon.
Yeah. Do you know a date for that so we can let people know?
It's October 22nd, I think.
All right.
I
think that's the same day that the Dead by Daylight event starts. So if people are fans of both, then that would be kind of
very
tricky.
There are events currently going on as well for the 10-year anniversary on Borderlands 3. Right now, the event currently running is the Iridium Rush, where you can get Iridium from like casual enemies now rather than just like bosses and stuff like that, and you get more of them from obviously the Iridium stacks. That's the event they're currently doing.
Fair enough. Well, you can go do that event, or you can wait for the one on the 22nd. But there's some events coming up. Hopefully, we'll have our first DLC, fairly soon, and we'll jump into that. And we will definitely podcast about that too. This isn't the end of our Borderlands coverage. We will definitely do more coverage on Borderlands 3, but I'm not sure what the next episode will be or when it will be. But we will definitely have more episodes about this game in the future. So, that being said, to recap some of our news real quick. Our next podcast, I'm going to try and make that a Dead by Daylight podcast. We haven't talked about Dead by Daylight in a little bit, and I think it kind of fits well because next week we are streaming Dead by Daylight all week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be streaming some Dead by Daylight. We're going to find our lucky totems. Zombie and I are going to be basic sisters, right, Zombie? These are all references to our last Borderlands streams. Or not Borderlands, but Dead by Daylight, so... if you don't get the inside jokes, go back and watch the previous Dead by Daylight streams. We will be back with some Dead by Daylight. We'll have a lot of fun with that, and hopefully we will escape and get a lot of blood points. I'm going to try and level up my Nancy more. And then on Friday next week, we are playing some State of Decay 2. We are going to try and get more of the clothing items and get more of the bounties done. Try and get more of that shirt up. I haven't had a lot of time to play lately, so we're going to try and get as much of that as possible and keep working on that stuff. And that's kind of what we have coming up. But, Zombie, how can people find you if they want to find you?
Well, you can always find me on Blaise's streams, and you can find me in the Discord. If you mention me, I'll obviously respond. So, same on stream as well.
Fair enough. And for me, you can find me on the Discord as well. You can find me on Twitter or my Xbox Live gamer tag at Blaise XPerience. That's capital BLAISE, capital XPERIENCE. You can also find me on Facebook and YouTube, but I don't get on there as often, so just be aware that I will be more delayed in responses there. I'm probably most active on Discord first, and probably Twitter second. It's probably my second most active. So that's the best way to catch me. You can also email me as well if you want to, theblaisexperience@gmail.com. And we also have a Patreon. If you want to become a Patreon member, we do have some bonus podcasts for $5 tiers above. But for as little as $1 a month, you can get some rewards. So definitely check that out at patreon.com/BlaiseXperience. That's patreon.com/BlaiseXperience. We also have merchandise as well. You can find that at teespring.com/BlaiseXperience or teespring.stores.com, I believe. Let me get to that link real quick. But that's TEESPRING. That's how you spell Teespring. And you can go to our storefront. So teespring.com/store/Blaise XPerience. That's the official link there. So check that out. I would definitely be happy to have you guys order some merch. I showed off some of the merch on my stream. I have a t-shirt and a pillow on there. There's stickers. There's other shirts. There's leggings. Lots of different stuff. So definitely check it out. And let me know what you think. If there's an item on there that you see on Teespring that you would want me to include, then let me know. But that being said, if you're listening to the podcast, then you obviously already know where to find it. But if you want to try and find it on different sites and apps, it's on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Radio Public, Blueberry, Podbean, bunch of directories. So just type into your search bar the Blaise XPerience. You will find us somewhere. And we're also part of Podcast NH, so definitely check out podcastnh.com as well and find out some other great podcasts there. And that's about it for us. So definitely check out those places. If you don't like apps, it is available on my Discord. Every episode is posted to my Discord, the direct download link. So just check the direct download link section, and you can find every episode there. And download it directly to your phone or device. That way you don't have any apps on your phone or device. But Zombie, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it, and we will hopefully see you again soon.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you'll be catching up to Monty soon with more of these episodes, so, take that record.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for listening to the Blaise XPerience.